Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I just finished watching NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver for night one. This was a fun, entertaining, fucking 2-hour event for Takeover on national television. Not just on Peacock, but on national television. And this was fucking awesome show. I had a blast watching this. And the 2 hours just went by so damn quick, it was unbelievable. This NXT felt like old school NXT, like when NXT was actually good. I hope we get to continue to see this after WrestleMania weekend, because my God, this was a fucking awesome event. The match that stole the entire show was Tommaso Ciampa and Walter. I don't think any match on night one or night two is going to top this match. Tommaso Ciampa and Walter kicked the shit out of each other for the UK Championship. And I gotta say, Walter, man, he is one fucking hard son of a bitch to beat. They make him look difficult. I discussed this with my good buddy Matt, who used to be on the Random Wrestling Talk episodes that we used to do. If you guys want to check that out, if you're new to the channel or whatnot, and you want to check out those episodes, they're all the way down at the bottom of my vids. So if you want to check that out, by all means, go ahead. Let me know what you guys thought of those videos. We had a blast doing those. Usually we do like about an hour of just randomly talking about any kind of wrestling shit that was going on back in 2015. But getting back to the thing I wanted to say, Walter, to me, and I told this to my friend Matt, he reminds me of Fedor Emelianenko, who was a former MMA fighter. And this guy was dominant in that sport in Pride. They were a promotion located in Japan. If you're not familiar of like MMA promotions, Pride was an MMA promotion in Japan. And he just tore through that entire roster of individuals in the heavyweight division and kicked everybody's ass. And that's what Walter has done in WWE through the UK, and partially some of the things he's done in NXT as well. To be quite frank with you, the way this guy Walter wrestles, he would be a great opponent for Roman Reigns if they could get Walter to actually work in the United States. That would be something I would be all for. 100%, because this guy took everything from Tommaso Ciampa and he dished it right back out to him and kicked his ass and retained his championship. That was fucking impressive match. Definitely a match that should have been the main event. The main event, though, wasn't that bad either. It was the NXT Women's Championship. It was Raquel Gonzalez, the challenger, going up against the champion, who is Io Shirai. This match was pretty decent of a main event. I didn't have any complaints with it. And to be quite frank with you, either way, I would have been fine with the winner. Raquel Gonzalez did win the NXT Women's Championship. But my issue with it was the fact that the way they had her celebrating at the end made me think that they're trying to duplicate what they did with Rhea Ripley in a way. I don't know. It might be just me. I'm not sure. But to be quite frank with you, I don't quite get it, because of the fact that Dakota Kai is alongside with Raquel Gonzalez, and Dakota Kai challenged for the NXT Women's Championship at one point and lost. And now her bodyguard, quote unquote, is now the women's champion instead of losing to Io Shirai. I think Candice LeRae should have been the one to take the title off of Io Shirai at this point. I think they had a much better story to tell than what Raquel Gonzalez did with Io Shirai. This match felt, it wasn't a bad... I'm not going to say that it was a bad main event or anything. It was a good match for what it was, but I just didn't feel that it had the story to elevate that match up to where it needed to be to feel like a really great main event. That's really my issue. I think Candice LeRae would have been able to tell a better story with Io Shirai because they have history with each other. And that woman hasn't sniffed a fucking world championship run at all. She hasn't come close. So that's another thing why I kind of wish Io Shirai was facing Candice LeRae instead of Raquel Gonzalez. We had Pete Dunne and Kushida kickstart the show. That was a really good opener to this show. Very fun, entertaining matchup. Definitely enjoyed that one. Pete Dunne won this matchup. Very close match as well. The other match was a 6-man gauntlet match where they started off with 2 people, and every 3 minutes they had someone come out like you would do for the Royal Rumble, only this was by pinfall or submission to eliminate a superstar. And I am very disappointed in the sense, not that Bronson Reed won. I'm okay with Bronson Reed versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship, but my issue with is you had Dexter Lumis in this, and from what I've heard, Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano were building a story with each other. They had some friction between one another. It seemed like they were building some kind of rivalry, and then all of a sudden they just take that away from Dexter. Dexter Lumis was the second person eliminated in the match. The first person eliminated was Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff was a former NXT North American champion, a joke of a champion, but champion nonetheless. Then you had LA Knight, formerly known as Eli Drake. He came out fucking acting like a dumbass. He just went ahead and started cutting a promo in the middle of the match while he was moving, down the rampway and getting into the ring. And he's just talking shit to everybody, which was funny as hell. I thought that was great, but bad timing to be cutting a promo in the middle of a match. They made him look a little dumb in that situation. I wouldn't have done that with him. I would have just had him go right in and start kicking everybody's ass. He ends up losing. He ends up being the third one eliminated. Cameron Grimes, he actually gets eliminated as well right after LA Knight. And then we also had Isaiah Swerve Scott, who was really good in that matchup. He actually impressed the living hell out of me. I would have been okay with him winning the match. But, I mean, you would have had a heel versus heel type of situation. And Isaiah hasn't really had anything going towards the North American Championship, but I can imagine Bronson Reed probably defeating Johnny Gargano tomorrow night and us seeing a new North American champion. And I wouldn't have a problem with Isaiah Swerve Scott being the first one to challenge for the North American Championship against Bronson Reed, because they did very good at the end of that match. But Dexter Lumis, I really think, is the guy that should be the one to defeat fucking Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship, because they had some kind of rivalry building up, number one. Number two, Dexter Lumis is a very interesting character, and he says nothing. That is the most bizarre thing any character's ever done in wrestling. Like, the guy never says a word. He does amazing drawings to speak his mind, which is very creative and fucking off the wall crazy, to be quite frank with you. never seen a character like this. When I first saw him, I never really liked him at all. I thought he was kind of stupid. But when he transitioned into this face character, the good guy character role, he really started becoming entertaining to me for some strange reason. I have no idea. But it just seems like the fact that he stalks his opponent with pictures and shit, showing them exactly what he's going to do to them, what their future is going to be, or something like that, like he did with the Undisputed Era at one point last year. I mean, he was doing all kinds of shit. He was actually building his character up through the pandemic, through the first year of the pandemic. And he's really been entertaining to watch, and just watching him, evolve into the character he's become. It's quite entertaining, to be quite frank with you. And for him to become a world champion, or win a world title of some sort, would be kind of interesting to see. And him and Johnny Gargano, I think, would put on a good match with each other. Other than that, I mean, it was a good match. I enjoyed what happened and everything. I just kind of thought the eliminations were a little shitty choice, but Bronson Reed is all right for a win, and moving on to Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship, so I'm okay with that match. Bronson Reed winning, I'd be okay with. I mean, as long as he has some suitable opponents to go up against. Cameron Grimes would be one. Fucking Isaiah Swerve Scott, like I said before, would be also another good opponent for him to face. And if you really want to go crazy, you could turn him into this dominating heel and make him a heel that doesn't cheat or anything and just wins clean. I mean, you could go that route, but right now I'd keep him as is. I don't think they need to do any twists or turns with his character right now. I think they need to keep him as is until it gets played out and becomes stale with the audience. But quite frankly, I would be okay with him winning the title. This matchup between him and Johnny Gargano, I really don't have any issues with. I think it's going to be a back and forth match, number one, and number two, it's a win-win situation. I think either one they choose will be okay to go with, creatively. So that's a good situation. Not too often that happens, and the Walter and Tommaso Ciampa was definitely one of them. At the end of the day, though, I mean, going back to Walter and Tommaso Ciampa, they told an amazing story, and it was just main event quality 100% what they did in that match. And it was quite impressive what they did. I couldn't believe what Tommaso Ciampa went through in that match. He got his ass kicked. So did fucking Walter. I can't get my mind off that match. That was freaking awesome. And then one other match I haven't discussed. It was an okay tag team triple threat match for the vacated tag team titles. It was MSK, the young grizzled veterans, and Legende Fantasma. I forgot their fucking tag team name. They're that Spanish group with that Spanish tag team, or that Spanish cruiserweight champion. Give me 1 second to pull this up real quick. Okay, so the tag team name was Legado del Fantasma. And this was a pretty decent tag team triple threat match for the vacated championship. MSK actually walked away with the victory here. And I'm okay with it. I'm not really surprised by it. They did some great stuff in Impact Wrestling. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that NXT went with these two guys. They're a very impressive tag team. Their finishing maneuver is unbelievable. One guy goes ahead and does a moonsault while the other guy pushes him over to put him on top of his opponent. So, I mean, that fucking move's unbelievable. And I saw that in Impact Wrestling. I was like, damn. That's pretty fucking impressive. But yeah, I mean, overall, this was a fucking awesome go home show. Their finale to Wednesday nights. I think more than likely they topped AEW. Definitely. I don't think AEW could even come close with the kind of episode they produced compared to what NXT did here tonight. And I'm always for AEW. I'm very supportive of AEW and their work and what they do. But NXT tonight really killed it heavily. They did a fantastic job here tonight. I have no complaints whatsoever, and I had a blast watching this 2-hour episode, and I can't wait to be able to watch it now on Tuesday nights so I don't have to kill myself watching 2 episodes in one night and then provide you guys another review the next day after I killed myself watching 4 hours of fucking wrestling. I don't want to do that shit. It kind of sucks. So that's the reason why NXT wasn't being reviewed. And I will upload those videos now that they're moving over to Tuesday night next week. So you guys will definitely see that. Speaking of my other show, which I like to review, AEW Dynamite will be reviewed and uploaded on Friday night. It might be Saturday morning, like 12 o'clock Saturday morning, because I do a lot of stuff on Friday nights, so I may go back and watch it around 10 o'clock, won't finish it until 12, and then by that time I will upload that video after I've done the review. So keep an eye out for that. You probably will find it Saturday morning when you wake up in your on the subscription of this channel, so keep an eye out for that. And at this time, you guys know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.